Two. They're thinking about doing 2 WrestleManias. I can't even stand 1 WrestleMania. Now we gotta get 2 WrestleManias? When are you gonna do 2 WrestleManias? Can you imagine if WWE does 2 WrestleManias in the same month? One for the United States and then one overseas in Saudi Arabia. Man, this company is diluting everything that is special to them. WrestleMania has not felt, and I'm not talking about the grandeur and the fucking stage and the whole atmosphere of WrestleMania. I am being completely honest with you. I would not pay a single fucking penny to sit at a WrestleMania. Now, I may be in the minority on that one, but the way that these shows have been in the last few years, you couldn't pay me to sit there with your own money. I would not accept your offer. WrestleMania, especially the last couple of years, no matter who you talk to, I don't give a fuck what you say, who you are. I don't give a shit if you've been at every WrestleMania that there has been. They have been some of the worst shows of the year. WWE, in their sick and twisted mind, think that it's quantity that we want over quality. We all know these shows are excruciatingly long. 7.5 hours for anything is not something that I want. WrestleMania should not be 7.5 hours. WrestleMania has not been WrestleMania to me in a decade and a half. It hasn't. WrestleMania every single year is nothing but overhyped garbage fed to you by WWE. Yeah, it's the biggest wrestling show of the year. It's the most synonymous name when it comes to professional wrestling. It's the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. Whatever. I know, you know, everybody knows the quality of the WWE during WrestleMania season is just as bad as it is during any other portion of the year. Their storylines are fucking illogical. There's no care about storylines. The same fucking guys main evented 4 WrestleManias in a row and nobody seems to give a flying fuck. Out of 13 matches, how many did, or 14 matches, however many matches there were this year, how many did you legitimately care about this year? Really? Really? At the end of WrestleMania this year, with that fucking card that they put on this year, how many of those matches could you say, yeah, that was going to be a match of the year candidate? 0. 0. I see better quality matches on 205 Live than I do at WrestleMania. WrestleMania should be, the showcase of the immortals, like they used to hype it up as. When I look at a WrestleMania, I want to see the greatest fucking showcase of talent that you have, giving me what I want for 7.5 hours. Wrestling. WWE has not presented WrestleMania in that way for a very long time. If they could drop the ball on an AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura world title match at WrestleMania, I put WWE in the category of not giving a fuck what they do at WrestleMania, because shills like you who attend these shows every year are gonna fucking go and not feel the same way we feel here. I would never sit amongst that fucking sea of humanity at a WrestleMania just because it's a WrestleMania. You know? The show sucks. The show sucks. And WWE, they're thinking about giving you 2 WrestleManias in the year 2020. I don't know if Vince McMahon is slowly losing his mind, but surely, day by day, week by week, when I watch this fucking product week to week and I hear the shit that I do on a weekly basis, it's becoming more apparent that this guy needs to leave. He needs to step away. His fucking ideas are antiquated. His comedy, his humor is not funny. He doesn't have the mind for the current business that wrestling is. Yeah, he's a good businessman when it comes to getting TV deals and fucking running his company. But what we want to see on television, it ain't fucking coming out the way it should be. I don't give a fuck how much money WWE is making. It's not equaling quality television. You could make your billions, you could make your fucking TV deals multi-year, you could sign every fucking piece of talent that this industry has to offer. If you're not giving me quality television, I don't give a fuck. The more money they make, the worse the shows are getting. There's no care. What makes you think I want to see 2 fucking WrestleManias by 2020? Who's making a decision that WrestleMania needs to happen more than once? WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year. It happens once a year. You don't see the NFL doing 2 Super Bowls. You don't see golf doing 2 PGA World Tours or 2 US Opens. You don't see MLB doing 2 World Series. You don't see New Japan wanting to do 2 Wrestle Kingdoms. Yeah, so let's take away the special meaning of once a year from WrestleMania. Let's make it like everything else for the almighty fucking dollar. What is left in this company that is special? Nothing. There's nothing left in this company that just you could look at and say special. Yes, exactly what I want. 2 8-hour shows in the same fucking month. Let alone, not even the same fucking month, the same year. That's what we really want. 2 8-hour shows. One for the US and then one for the fucking Saudi people who says that they deserve an 8-hour WrestleMania. You're going to devalue everything that WrestleMania is. People come because it's the atmosphere that you present. It's the week that you take over that city. You're going to duplicate that twice? How are you going to make people feel? Did anybody think of this? How are you going to make people feel that go to this WrestleMania, that go to the regular WrestleMania that we see in April, right? And WWE shits all over the fucking show like they usually do every single year. There's nothing good that comes out of WrestleMania outside of a surprise or 2. Maybe you'll get a decent match here or there. But it's after 8 hours, what could you really say that you gave a shit at the end of WrestleMania? Nothing. Nothing. Who's to say that WWE gives you a piss-poor WrestleMania here in the States and then wants to book the fucking show of shows in a country where you ain't gonna travel, you're afraid to travel to because of the political fucking climate that the world is going through right now? Won't you feel like shit if WWE treats this second WrestleMania more important than the real WrestleMania? I know I would. I know I would if I'm paying to sit in New Jersey or wherever they have WrestleMania in 2020, Minneapolis, Philadelphia, Atlanta, whatever's rumored nowadays. If I'm buying a ticket, which I won't, to WrestleMania here in the United States in the year 2020, and they give me fucking garbage for 8 hours, yet they want to put all their resources to make this second WrestleMania the biggest show ever. You know how pissed I'd be if they give them a WrestleMania that we should have got in the United States? A show that should only be happening once a year? There's a time to make your money. You're making your money. Network subscriptions are up. The stock is almost $80 a share. You're making billions upon billions of dollars for a fucking miserable television product. Let it die down. Now you're making all your money. Why don't you concentrate on giving me fucking quality television instead of having Finn Balor go out there and fucking hear the bullshit coming from Baron Corbin's mouth about singing Itsy Bitsy fucking Spider? Yes, exactly what I want to see on wrestling. On Monday Night Raw. Baron Corbin, a guy who listens to fucking death metal, singing Itsy Bitsy Spider. Then you got SmackDown Live, the fucking nostalgia fucking show with Kane and Daniel Bryan that died after 1 week. James Ellsworth is seeing more TV time than fucking Samoa Joe. James Ellsworth has more TV time in 3 weeks than Ty Dillinger has all of this year and last year combined. Yet you want to give me 2 WrestleManias. Show is too fucking long. 8 hours is too long every year. I don't even look forward to WrestleMania just based on that one fact. This year's WrestleMania 34, counting the kickoff show, ran 7.5 hours. The second year in a row that has been the case. Can you honestly say you enjoy 7.5 hours of wrestling? There's many things in this life that I enjoy, but I ain't doing them for 7.5 fucking hours. According to No Holds Barred Wrestling Show, WWE may be considering running 2 WrestleMania events in the year 2020. The idea would be similar to what was done with the Royal Rumble and the Greatest Royal Rumble earlier this year, meaning the second may not even be the same as the actual WrestleMania, but have a similar name instead. The additional show would be taking place outside of the United States. This is what was said about this rumor, and I quote, WWE is looking to have 2 WrestleManias for the year 2020. One will be called WrestleMania, but another will be like we had with the Greatest Royal Rumble. I don't know if it will be the Greatest WrestleMania or just Mania or something like that. In 2020, that's when already you know that Fox will have had WWE TV for about 6 months. That's when you'll have 2 WrestleManias, one in North America and then one all over the world. Could be Canada, could be Saudi Arabia, could be Australia. They're already having an event in Australia. It could be in London. They want to have one in April and one in October beginning in 2020. I think that is a terrible fucking idea. An absolutely terrible idea. You know, the notion of WWE is give them more. The quality sucks, but give them more. I wish they would not have that type of mentality going into their business motto. There's just so much content that I don't even watch half the shit that they're giving me. Television is suffering every week. The storylines are fucking garbage. Wrestlers being wasted left and right. The biggest fucking slew of talent that they've ever seen employed by this company, and you're not even utilizing 25% of them, you know, on your shows. 95% of them are being booked miserably. Ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. I can't even stand one WrestleMania. Now you're going to give me 2 WrestleManias? Yeah, because WrestleMania is the biggest show. I look forward to it every year. I can't wait for WrestleMania season to be over. The only time I look forward to WrestleMania season is because the traffic on YouTube is fucking through the roof. 100,000 views a video. Off the Script is going crazy. My WrestleMania review does close to 200,000 views. It's money for me. The product is miserable. What you need to do now is start putting on quality television. Forget about giving me more. WrestleMania in 2020, one here and one overseas, I don't like it. Take it as a rumor right now. Take it as nothing but a rumor right now. Moving on here, man. Mae Young Classic, something that I am looking forward to very much, is returning in August to the WWE Network. Dave Meltzer has reported that there has been talk of Caitlyn making a return to the WWE after she visited backstage at a recent NXT TV taping. Later during an interview with WSVN TV reporter Chris Van Vliet, she hinted that she could be returning. WWE has confirmed the news that Caitlyn is returning to the company to be a part of the 2018 Mae Young Classic. She is the first participant announced for the 32-woman tournament. Caitlyn left the WWE in 2014, and at that time, she said her wrestling career was done, just like they always say, and then they always come back and get the itch to do it again, because she wanted to focus more on fitness and bodybuilding. Things changed, and she made her return in February for an independent show in Florida with the goal of making it back to the WWE. It's unclear if this is just a one-shot deal for the Mae Young Classic tournament or if there are plans to bring her on board full-time with NXT or the main roster. Now, I honestly don't think WWE, needs to add any more women to the women that they have on Raw and SmackDown. I mean, look at the divisions. Like, what do you want me to say about these divisions? They're both booked terribly. They're booked terribly. Having Caitlyn on television will not make an iota of a difference. I really don't give a shit if she's here or there. But having her back in the Mae Young Classic is a great way to get her feet wet. If anything, WWE should put her down in NXT. You got Sasha and Bayley who aren't getting TV time. Asuka's being booked god-awful. Becky Lynch has had 1 month of a win streak. Ruby Riot's injured right now. Ember Moon really ain't doing much of anything on Monday Night Raw. Alexa Bliss is trash. Nia Jax is fucking awful. It's the Ronda Rousey show on Monday Night Raw, and that will become more apparent as the year goes on. Charlotte, where's she going to go? Where is she going to fit in on Raw or SmackDown? She'll end up like Mickie James on Monday Night Raw. Let's put her down in NXT. Or if not, have this be a one-shot deal for the tournament. Seriously. Serena Deeb came back for the Mae Young Classic last year. Serena Deeb, she did very well. I believe she fought Viper in the first round of that tournament. It was a very good match. And she never came back to the WWE. They didn't give her a spot on SmackDown Live or Monday Night Raw. Maybe, she didn't want to do it. She certainly has the ability to out-wrestle anybody on those shows. Maybe she didn't want to do it. I think that would be the best thing for Caitlyn here. One-shot deal like Serena Deeb. Come back. Have a great showing in the tournament. If you guys want to see her in WWE, I think NXT would be a best fit for her. Just come back and show everybody that you still got it. Or in this case, she was never good to begin with. She was all looks and nothing of substance in the ring. That's just my honest opinion. But 2014, it's 2018 now. Show me what you've learned. You're going to be in the ring in a tournament with women who are hungry. If you can match that hunger and show me what you've learned in 4 years has been very well in your training, then I'm all for it. I love seeing a good success story. And that could be a great telling point and a great story for the Mae Young Classic in year 2. Hopefully it's just a one-shot deal. I don't think she adds anything of value to either Raw or SmackDown. Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live don't find value in anything at all. And a Caitlyn is not going to give you any more of a must-see feel to the women's division on both of these shows. Let's keep it a one-shot deal for Caitlyn and the Mae Young Classic. Moving on here, man. We got another story about WWE canceling a major pay-per-view. Now, apparently, we have WWE reshuffling the fourth quarter pay-per-views on their calendar. And I really wish that they would reshuffle the summer months, to be honest with you. I really do. WWE's making changes to their pay-per-view schedule. Now, there was a rumor going around that WWE was going to delete TLC. And I wish that they would get rid of all these gimmick pay-per-views like TLC, Hell in a Cell, all this other shit. I wish they would get rid of these gimmick-themed pay-per-views. I fucking hate it when I gotta see, oh, it's October, it's Hell in a Cell. I hate that we're on a timed monthly schedule that everybody thinks, oh, it's October, that means we're gonna get Hell in a Cell. I think Hell in a Cell as a concept should go away for a couple years. Hell in a Cell should only be used as a complete blow-off to an overly intense feud like Ciampa and Gargano. I don't think we're going to see that because it may be too close to what we're getting inside Hell in a Cell for WWE in September with AJ Styles and Samoa Joe rumored. I don't think WWE is going to put Ciampa and Gargano inside a Hell in a Cell in Brooklyn because you got the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view coming up just a month after. But that's my feeling on that. You guys know how I would redo the pay-per-view calendar. Get rid of these gimmick pay-per-views. Give me a Great American Bash or a Bash at the Beach or a King of the Ring in the middle of June. Have the King of the Ring be a bridge from WrestleMania to SummerSlam. That's what I would do. But WWE is going a step further here. It looks like they're trying to free up the pay-per-view calendar because of the Australian Super Show that they're going to be having in October. TLC pay-per-view right now is no longer listed on the calendar for October in which it was originally scheduled. The show was scheduled to take place in Boston, but WWE is now advertising a combined Raw and SmackDown Super Show for October 21st. PW Insider reports that the TLC pay-per-view has been moved from October to December 16th, and it will take place in San Jose, California. Clash of Champions was originally scheduled for December, but it has been replaced by TLC, ultimately being taken off the pay-per-view calendar. The move was likely made because WWE will be running the Super Show down, or whatever they're calling it in Australia, from the Melbourne Cricket Ground in Australia. So there was no need for an extra pay-per-view. I'm glad that they're rectifying this because we came from WrestleMania in April, and then we got the Greatest Royal Rumble, which was another 5-hour event at the end of April. It's a lot of wrestling in between. And the fact that they did that, it absolutely made Backlash fucking worthless. You had WrestleMania, and then WWE should have went from WrestleMania and built stories to Backlash. WWE went from WrestleMania, building stories for the Greatest Royal Rumble, and then only had 1 week to get ready for Backlash. And it showed. I'm glad that they're not making this same mistake with the Melbourne Cricket Ground event in Australia, this Super Show. So that means we're going to come out of Hell in a Cell, and then the next show is going to be a Super Show in Australia with the WWE storylines coming out of Hell in a Cell that will directly bleed into the Super Show in Australia. You're not going to go from Hell in a Cell to TLC to the Super Show, then to Survivor Series. It's going to be one show, and then it's going to bleed right into November. You're not going to have an overabundance of shows where storylines are diluted, things don't make sense, you're booking matches for the sake of booking matches just to get the match on the show. WWE, I give them a ton of shit, but this was the best decision that they could have made. Now, I don't know if this was done because they realized what had happened in April. I won't give them that much credit because these people are fucking stupid, but they obviously realized that Backlash was one of the most worthless shows of the year. And they didn't want to repeat that same thing here for TLC. So let's give them some credit. So WWE does not have anything listed on their website for December, so that would indicate that this switch was made recently, likely when they confirmed the show in Australia at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. So take that as you may. I hope WWE made the right decision because of something that just makes sense. Now, we're going to end with this one here, man. This is funny. And I guess the people in the UFC are sick of Brock Lesnar, just like we are sick of Brock Lesnar not showing up on Monday Night Raw. But he's got all the time in the fucking world to laugh and smile and shove Daniel Cormier and want to be a part of the UFC, while he has the Universal Championship belt sitting in aisle 7 of Stop and Shop next to the fucking fruit roll-up. Title might be worth fucking $2.99, just like a box of fruit roll-up. But Brock Lesnar is being accused right now of bringing fake WWE style to the UFC. Brock Lesnar's return to the Octagon felt a lot more like pro wrestling and a pro wrestling segment than a regular MMA fight. And the confrontation with the altercation that he had with Daniel Cormier is being frowned upon by a few UFC fighters. Now, I didn't watch UFC 226. There was no reason for me to watch UFC 226. Whatever I had seen was seen on Twitter that very night. I had my best friend Pete called me. I had my buddy Sean in Atlantic City text me, WWE infiltrating UFC. They both said the same thing. So I look at the clip, I see the clip, I dissect the clip, I watch it a few different times. Daniel Cormier, you can see, being that he's a pro wrestling fan, and he was the one who actually got into an altercation on social media with the Young Bucks. He is a big wrestling fan. He was, I believe, I don't know when it was, I think he was high on Seth Rollins, after the gauntlet match. He was excited about Seth Rollins winning the Intercontinental Championship or something along those lines at WrestleMania, whatever. He's a big wrestling fan. Daniel Cormier, you can see that he is not in a serious tone after winning the championship from Stipe. He didn't come off as a serious promo. It was very, I would say it was very, I don't want to say scripted, but I'm sure it was. It was all planned out in advance. It was very un-UFC-like. You're not really going to be smiling while you're calling out Brock Lesnar. If you got a legit problem with Brock Lesnar, then you got a legit problem with Brock Lesnar. Okay? Nobody should have a problem with Brock Lesnar, period, in the UFC, because he's been away holding the title in WWE hostage. He has nothing to do with the UFC outside of his drug violation. Brock Lesnar hears this. He's already standing outside the fucking cage. You see him as the camera is shooting from above, having him jump into the cage. He's smiling from ear to ear. Clearly, this was all staged. This was all done to create hype. Brock Lesnar gets into the cage, and he starts smiling. He calls Daniel Cormier a motherfucker. He says the UFC heavyweight disasters that he's been watching, and I think he calls Stipe a motherfucker, and he calls somebody else a motherfucker. Lesnar can cut a great promo when he wants to. We don't see that side of Brock Lesnar in the WWE because he's not allowed to throw F-bombs around. I wish, but he was more in his element here. I wish he would go back there. And I'm going to address this again on Off the Script this coming weekend. But some UFC fighters, however, after seeing all of this transpire, after him shoving Cormier, they were furious with this because they allegedly said it was a staged confrontation. No shit. A blind man could see that this was a staged confrontation. Who cares? They've taken to their respective Twitter handles to express their displeasure about the segment. Brian Kamazi, a welterweight fighter in the UFC, thought that the segment was the lamest fake confrontation of all time. The current number 2 heavyweight fighter in the world, Curtis Blades, was extremely unhappy with Lesnar's return segment. Blades says he's sick of the UFC's decision to use WWE-esque fake arguing to draw casual fans. Now, Blades went on to say, and I quote, "Tired of all the politics. Like, is it even still about fighting first? CM Punk, now Brock Lesnar. I'll just continue to grow as a martial artist and become more dangerous, and I refuse to resort to that WWE BS fake arguing just to draw in lame-ass casual fans." Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I am not big in the UFC. I only watch when guys like Lesnar are there. I don't really care about the UFC. correct me if I'm wrong, isn't the UFC and their pay-per-view numbers dwindling over the years? The pay-per-view numbers are slowly taking a decline, right? So in an effort to get people hyped about what's coming up. Now, everybody thinks Brock Lesnar's fighting in November at this Madison Square Garden show that UFC is having here in the city for their big anniversary, a 25-year anniversary or something. Lesnar will not be fighting in November. Lesnar entered the USADA pool in July. So he's not going to be eligible to fight until January 2019. That is if Daniel Cormier is still the world champion by that point. I don't know. Anything can happen between now and January, February 2019. What does this mean to you? What does this mean to you? It means to me that whoever Brock Lesnar fights at SummerSlam, I hope which is the case, with all the fucking rumors that he's not even going to be there, I hope that this guy drops the title to whomever. At this point, I don't even give a shit. I don't give a shit who he drops it to. Get the title on Raw. There is no reason why Brock Lesnar should be the Universal Champion. None. If he wants to be in UFC so badly, then go fight in the UFC. I don't mind Brock Lesnar being with the WWE as long as he is not a world champion. This is not even Lesnar's fault. This is Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon thinks that this is some fucking elaborate plan, probably an elaborate troll, to have this guy as your world champion. For what reason is this guy holding your title hostage? You do realize that every day that passes that he holds that title hostage and it's not shown on Monday Night Raw, that it loses value. It is absolutely fucking worthless at this point. Worthless. I could go to the fucking bodega and I probably couldn't even get a pack of fucking juicy fruit for that fucking title. That's how worthless it is. Yet the WWE Championship is still not a priority over the Universal Championship. And the WWE Championship can't even main event a fucking pay-per-view, and Lesnar hasn't even been there since WrestleMania. Yeah, but it's doing great business for the WWE. Yeah, that's why they had their lowest ratings on Monday Night Raw ever. Ever. I may save that for a separate video. If Lesnar wants to go to the UFC, he has my blessing. WWE wants to sign Brock Lesnar to another 2 or 3 years. I'm all for it. Don't make him a world champion. There clearly is a must-see factor with Brock Lesnar. WWE clearly could still use Brock Lesnar in a part-time capacity. They could still get dream matches out of him if they so choose. But to have this guy presented as a world champion in an effort to get somebody over, it's not doing what Vince McMahon wants it to do. Dana White is using Brock Lesnar as a marketing toy. It's not about politics. It's not about fucking martial arts. It's not about the fake WWE style infiltrating the UFC. Dana White is seeing his numbers dwindle. He's going to use Brock Lesnar to generate hype for an eventual mega match to begin his year. You do realize that some of the biggest pay-per-view numbers that company has ever done has had Brock Lesnar just right next to it. So unless Mr. Curtis Blades can outsell Brock Lesnar in pay-per-view buys, and if this other guy, what's his name, Brian Kamazi, can out pay-per-view Brock Lesnar, then I think they should shut their fucking mouth. I really think that they could shut their fucking mouth now. There's no reason for you to make yourself look even more foolish than you already do. You know? Dana White is using Brock Lesnar to generate hype. Whether Lesnar wins or not, that is not my concern. I really don't even give a shit at this point. Do I want to see him succeed? Yes. I'm more into Brock Lesnar when he's in the UFC than I am when he's in WWE. But the fake WWE bullshit, hey, it's funny. I laughed. I smiled when Brock Lesnar opened his mouth to cut a promo on Daniel Cormier. I thought it was obviously fake, but I was entertained by it. I was more entertained by that 2-minute clip on Twitter than I was with both Raw and SmackDown this week. Or the entire Extreme Rules build. Or the Money in the Bank build. Or the Backlash build. Or the WrestleMania build, for that matter. So clearly Dana White is doing something right. And he's still under contract to WWE. Will we see Daniel Cormier come to WWE television? Is it a possibility? Sure. Would Vince McMahon allow him to be on Monday Night Raw? I doubt it. I doubt it. This is good business. Fake WWE fighting. Or lame fake confrontation, WWE style. Okay. Let me tell you something, Mr. Blades or Mr. Kamazi. At least you don't have one of your fucking UFC fighters singing Itsy Bitsy fucking Spider to a fucking opponent who he just knocked out with a post-match promo with Joe Rogan. At least Lesnar is legit. You had fucking Baron Corbin entering the octagon singing Itsy Bitsy Spider to Daniel Cormier. Then I would say, yep, I agree with you. But the fact that Lesnar is in there, he's a legit athlete, it came off as a fake lame confrontation. It's only being used to generate pay-per-view because Brock Lesnar is one of the highest grossing pay-per-views in UFC history. Outside of Conor McGregor. Which I think Conor McGregor has the record. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's either McGregor or Rousey. I don't know. I don't really give a fuck. All I know is Lesnar draws money for UFC, and that's why he's there. I'm getting the hell out of here. Had enough of this shit. I may give you guys another video on the Monday Night Raw situation, or I may just save that for Off the Script on Friday, for the cold open. Monday Night Raw suffered the worst ratings in its history this past week. And you know what? I am fucking ecstatic. I am thrilled that they had their worst ratings ever. They deserve it. They deserve every bit of fucking failing ratings. Because they put on shit product. They put on a shit TV show. And the consequences are steep. You pay for giving me shit. Good. Will it help WWE rebound after Extreme Rules on the Fallout show? After Extreme Rules? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. WWE is too complacent. They're too comfortable right now. They got their money from USA. They got their money from Fox. It's all official. They can put on whatever they want. Let me see you have this shit. Have SmackDown do on Channel 5 next October. Let me see Baron Corbin start singing Itsy Bitsy Spider to fucking Samoa Joe. I would cancel that show within a blink of a fucking eye if I see that shit if I'm a Fox executive. They better shape up or ship the fuck out, really. These shows deserve every bit of fucking negative backlash that they got coming to them after this week. Horrible fucking television. Yet the YWC content creators, you got Wrestle Talk giving it a smack-tastic on Tuesday night. You got fucking Brian Zane and all these other fucking guys giving Monday Night Raw thumbs up. I mean, are people losing their fucking mind? Whatever is in the air. I know it's not in the New York air. Whatever's in the air. Please, share it with me. I want to feel what you guys are feeling. These shows are terrible. Why is everybody so afraid to speak up on the product? It's as if they're waiting patiently by the phone. Oh my God, Vince McMahon is going to call me. I'm going to be on the creative team. I'm going to be a personality on Monday Night Raw like Kathy Kelly. You ain't getting no job. What is good about these shows? Why is everybody afraid to speak up on the negative bullshit that we are being fed? There's 16 segments on a 3-hour show. And only one was good. One. And that was Seth Rollins. You got Itsy Bitsy Spider being fucking sung to Finn Balor. You got fucking Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy defending the titles against two fucking cosplayers. You got Roman Reigns embarrassing the entire fucking roster with the agenda being forced down our throat. You got Seth Rollins, who was white hot wrestling night after night, week after week with the IC title. Reverts back to a comedy fucking character and tells Drew McIntyre that he fucks sheep in the outskirts of Scotland. Yeah, but Raw was good though, right? Raw was fantastic. That's why they suffered their worst ratings of all time. Of all time. Yeah, some great fucking big dog you got running the yard, right? The big dog is shitting all over the yard. And I think the big dog, it's about time the big dog is put to fucking sleep. He ain't doing his job right. Get him the fuck out. Nobody wants to see him. Get him the fuck out. I'm getting the hell out of here. There'll be more rants this weekend. Because it's Extreme Fools. Another thing. 10 matches on the Extreme Rules fucking card. How many of them are Extreme Rules? 1! And then the match that they gave you last night that has an extreme stipulation, yeah, let's put it on the fucking pre-show. Yeah, because Finn Balor and Baron Corbin is worthy of a main show match. You people need to start opening your fucking eyes, man. I swear to God, there is so much cocksucking going on within the YWC and on social media about the WWE right now. I honestly think everybody has an IQ of this fucking coffee mug that I got sitting in front of me right now. Getting the fuck out of here. I'm getting the hell out of here. I'll see you guys later. There will be no NXT review tonight because, that's the last thing I'll say, because I uploaded it on Thursday morning. It actually did better in viewership than when I usually upload it on Wednesday. So I'll watch, I'll record, I'll upload on Thursday morning. So there you go. So when you don't see it, don't act surprised. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. And if you enjoyed this fucking very colorful episode of Off the Script Extra, hit that thumbs up. I'll see you guys later.